Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video we're going to talk about what is the difference between a release for medical information and a release in an injury case, a general release. So a number of years ago I represented a guy who called me up. He had been involved in an accident, got hurt pretty bad, older guy, not he had never had a lawyer before. He had never called a lawyer before. He'd never gotten hurt seriously before. He had never had a work injury claim or a car accident claim or any kind of injury lawsuit. And he was talking to the insurance company. It was a car crash case. Or I think he was in a truck, if I recall correctly. So he was in a truck, but he was involved in a multi-car crash. But it was mainly one defendant, and one insurance company's truck ran into his vehicle. And so he was talking to them, and they said, here, sign these papers, don't worry about anything. So he signed the papers. And when he asked them what the papers were, they said, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a release for your medical bills and medical records and stuff like that. Just sign it and send it back to us. So he signed it and sent it back. And, gave it to me to look at. I said, well, let me just take a look at it. And they had him sign a general release. So what is a release? A release is what we call that document that when you sign it, that means your case is over, okay? It's got all the terms of the settlement in it. It's got a bunch of language in there that doesn't make sense to anyone, really. It doesn't even make sense to lawyers, but it's based on details of law, and so some of that confusing stuff needs to be in there. Otherwise, you can never settle the case, okay? But then there's also a release of medical information, okay? Now, sometimes or usually these days, they have you sign a medical release called a HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and that's like a federal law. It's a federal form about releasing medical records, and it's a big, long law about how medical providers have to protect the privacy of people's health information and how it's supposed to be disclosed to you. But it's basically just a form saying, my name is blah, 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 here's the hospital, these are the medical bills and records I want released, and you sign. Very different than a general release which settles cases. The problem is, if you're not familiar with all this, an insurance company can have you sign these papers that release the entire claim. And like I said, this older gentleman, by the time he contacted me, the case was over. He didn't want to do anything about it. I told him that what we would have to do is we would have to sue them for fraud. And it's a hard case because he could read, and the release was like a single-page release in plain English. So I suspect this insurance company has done it to people in the past. So my point is, if you have been involved in a car crash or a fall down or any kind of injury case, and an insurance company sends you papers to sign, you need to be careful about what you're signing, because it could be that you're signing your rights away, or you're signing something that's going to hurt your ability to recover money to compensate you for your injuries. So I always tell people, before you sign anything, get a free consultation from an attorney first, and let the attorney read the papers for you or tell you what's going on. Of course, I offer a free consultation. I hope this information helps you. You can always reach me by calling 312-500-4500. You can call that number anytime, night or day, for a free consultation. And if you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, obviously you can like and subscribe to my channel here, because I've literally got close to 200 injury videos on here explaining how different parts of the injury process work. And obviously these videos are free. I've got them broken up on playlists depending on the type of case. So that's a free resource. Another great free resource, I've got two calculators on my website. One is the Good Case Calculator, and it tells you whether you might have a good case or whether you might have a case that has some challenges. 100% free, no obligation to use, link in the description. And then I've also got the Case Cash Calculator that tells you what your case might be worth from a settlement standpoint. Again, it takes 15 seconds to do. It's 100% free, no obligation. You just answer, I think, 6 multiple choice questions, and in 10 to 15 seconds, you've got an answer about what your case might be worth. Again, 100% free on my website for you, link in the description. Finally, if you enjoy my videos or you use those tools and you want to do me a favor, I would really appreciate it. I'm in a very competitive injury market, and people really rely on Google reviews to decide whether a lawyer is good or whether they're no good, right? So what I would love for you to do, if you wouldn't mind, it takes you 5 seconds, but it's invaluable for me. If you wouldn't mind leaving me a 5-star review on Google, it would really help me out. I'll leave the link in the description. All you do is cut and paste the link into a web browser on your phone or on your computer or tablet. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Literally takes you 5 seconds. Really, really helpful to me. So hope this information and the other information on my channel is helpful to you. Hope you and your family are well, and have a great day. Take care.